Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Zwift Live broadcast of the USA Cycling Racing League presented by Saris, the Pros Classic. I'm Nathan Guerra. Next to me virtually is Dave Toll, and we are out on 4 laps of the Innsbruck Ring. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Mixer, as well as Periscope over on Twitter. If you want to check us out on any of those platforms, welcome to the program today. 36 kilometers, 4 laps, and the leg snapper, I think, is the story of the day, Dave Toll. It's going to be a quick punch, but it's definitely got a sting in it every lap. But
Sorry, there are
no
36
worries.
kilometers of racing for this group. It's going to go by very quickly here. 4 times on the leg snapper. We happened to watch it yesterday in our 3R spring loaded race. This is a significant little sector that you hit. Nathan, they'll do damage every time up this climb. It'll be kind of a numbers game. I would expect the first time up, we'll have the field. We'll have it again. We'll have it again. It'll be interesting to see at 36K what kind of a sprint we have. Can I quickly shout out and thank Mari Holden? Mari is an amazing athlete. She was an Olympic silver medal winner back in Australia in 2000, went on to win a world championship in the time trial. Working at USA Cycling now, no one is advocating harder for the junior women out there than Mari. Absolutely incredible the work that she's doing. This COVID-19 is bringing out the best in some folks. And Mari, I really genuinely thank you for the work you're doing. She wanted me to mention a couple kids that are up and coming on the program, Alexis and Michaela Jaramillo. We're going to be trying to mention as many of our USA Cycling juniors as we can who have the courage and the heart to get out here and race. Nathan, this is a competitive group. We're going to be looking at a lot of different races going on with the men and the women, but I'll throw it back to you in Wisconsin. And again, thanks for serving up what's going to be a great race today.
Yeah, we have about 3 minutes to go to the start of the men's race, 7 minutes and 20 seconds to go to the start of the women's race. We'll be covering the A categories for each of the races. That's what we have for the feeds. We'll be trying to get back to the other categories as they finish up their races as well. Yes, definitely awesome shout out, though, when it comes to junior racing. When it comes to the reality of a sport and its tradition, that is how it continues on. And so any work with juniors is absolutely amazing. There is no other way that your sport continues on without them, and definitely that is the investment in the future. Loving it. Now let's take a quick look, though, at how things are standing for the men and the women's for the USA Cycling Racing League. On the men's side of things, currently leading things out with 107 points. We currently do have Brett Boniface, Cormac McGeough there, followed up by Mike Human. It's going to be Brian Hodges, George Mills Keeling, Nicholas Peterson, Freddie Ovitz in there as well, Joe Power, the Twig, and then Johan Gren. That's the series standings currently for USA Cycling Racing League in the A's. In the B category, Blake Herbold, it's going to be Chuck Coyle, then Dustin Byer is your top 3, Dan Paltiel, Ian Mulligan in 5th place, Ryan Tweeten, then Kevin Baker. All American flags actually we're seeing here, Robert Smith, Dustin Davis, and Ian Rempel in the B category. Pretty cool to see as far as that goes. Then it's going to be in the C category. Good to see Christian McDonald, 116 points, longtime viewer, hangs out in all the broadcasts and leading things out. Obviously some motivation there with watching all the broadcasts. Justin Evans, then it's going to be Henry Burson, then Daryl Southwood, Lauren Crannell, then Merrick Rickman, Kerry Wilson in 7th place, then Federico Bandini, Matthew Robertson, and then rounding out 10th place for that C category is going to be Kenneth Walter, for the dirt. Dad's inside, Ryan Eden Trainers, and in the D's, Daniel Stevens, Daryl Askey, Cameron Lighty, and then Jay Saunders, Lynn Hughes, and then Rami Youssef, David Schaefer, Kevin Klein, and then Annie Meg and Bruno Natanel. Now, as you can see, very international on some of these here, Dave. Pretty cool to see. I'm going to throw it over to you for the standings here in the women's category.
Yeah, Nathan, before I jump in, I'm going to mention that we do break out the results for just our USA Cycling riders. You can see the USA Cycling license number there. That's how you would be able to participate in that. But racing is available for everybody around the world, and we've seen amazing turnout. So let me jump right in. This has been a hyper-competitive category.
Here. Real quick, hold on 1 second here. Hold on
sure.
1 second, Dave. We need to update our categories
slide
here. Yeah, we need to slide here real quickly.
No problem.
As we do, we're going to jump in with the men here real quickly, and then we'll jump back over to the women as
Perfect.
we get out on course as the men do start, because those were the race from, I believe those were the morning results leagues, as Martin is doing an amazing job killing it over from WTR with all of our graphics, and I think just got.
And Nathan, thanks for the catch there. You're a great teammate for sure. Because I would,
I
know
saw
me,
that.
right?
I was like, you would have just read right through it, and I was like, those are not the names that we've been watching.
I see. I trust Martin. I trust Martin so much. He's been such a loyal teammate. So again, we work really hard to get this stuff right, and you need someone to be a backstop. And Nathan, you were an excellent one. So let's just jump right in, though. We have racing underway. Again, this was a proper Worlds course. We're looking at Innsbruck. This was the 2018 Valverde was the winner in the men's race, and that's who we're looking at right now. We'll have the A's, the B's, the C's, and the D's all out racing for the men and the women. But all right, a lot of different flags up there, Nathan. We know they go out hard. They always do. 52 kilometers per hour is the speed they're rolling at right now. 1 kilometer in. That first kilometer would have been had a pretty brisk, about a 1:10 for that opening K. Not bad at all, boys.
Always crazy fast when it does come to the reality of racing out on Zwift. The starts can be just off the front, though, immediately. Gerardo here now. Chiqui Rivera, interesting to see. Now, I think that's just a little bit of TV time because this pack is going to come screaming up here at 45 kilometers per hour. So Reynard's now there coming out of Belgium to the front as well. Zwift starts. You did a Zwift race recently, I think, or no? Were we just training here?
Yeah.
Because Dave, they're pretty intense right from the get-go.
They sure are. I mean, and everybody, I think once you've done one of these, the lesson is learned. You better come warmed up. You're going to go immediately down, put the accelerator on the floorboard, as I say. Hey, Nathan, I'm just hearing some very exciting names in this field. Now, I can't confirm that everybody actually was able to get hooked up as we welcome more riders to this fantastic Zwift platform. But at the World Championships last year, a couple standout rides. Luke Lamperti and Magnus Sheffield are racing with us. Gabriel Shipley is in this field, and cyclocross superstar out of Minnesota, Nick Carter. He rides for that KCCX team that Bill Marshall does such a good job with. So these are some of the under 20 riders, all under 23 riders, espoirs as we call them, the hopefuls in the American world that are, absolutely on the trajectory to represent us at many world championships and Olympic games. Nathan, this field is stacked. Our USA Cycling League race. We're really getting into the meat and potatoes with these races now. It's a series that we're kind of working our way into the first third here. Grupo Compacto right now. First time up the leg snapper. Get ready to say goodbye to a few riders. They'll be showing them the back door of the theater here. There's no doubt, Nathan. I mean, if you had to take a guess, we start 85. I say the group is under 50 after we hit the top of the leg snapper the first time. It's that significant. I mean, it goes to 10%, doesn't it?
Yeah, it gets pretty dang steep.
Close.
If you want to check out any of the stats over on ZwiftPower.com, you can as well. But I believe the elevation gain is only 308 on this course, but it is some very sharp 308 actually. So I believe we do hit over 10% actually into the teens a little bit. So it's full on. You're looking at, I believe, about I'm gonna say about almost half a K actually of a climb, maybe 400 meters, so 500 meter climb or so, full on. And you're gaining in that, it looks like about 100 meters or so of elevation gain. So it's full on, though, right from the get-go. There's another section they just went through, actually. They're going through right now over this little bridge here. And this section has a little bit of a false flat gradient, actually, uphill 2-3% at times, which is another section, as you can see, does cause a little bit of mayhem. As we do have James Hodges from the KRT team, Eric Boone there, also from the Audi team, it looks like. Scotty Weissbing is way at the front. Reynard's there also. And Reynard's, he's got a check mark here. Maybe a in real life ex-UCI pro. I'm gonna have to take a look here. We'll probably get some comments coming through the chat here on this rider here out of Belgium. Also an Irish rider there, Sigala there as well. So a couple of check marks here. Be watching out for us. Spencer Downey makes his way to the front for Gerald Cycling.
Hey,
Cyclist there.
He gave me a ride on the other day. I'm going to give you a ride on, Spencer. He's right here in Fort Collins, Colorado as well. Always good to see him. Very active racer. That's a name that we've heard a lot this season. Nathan, talking about Spencer Downing. He's been a quality cyclocross racer coming out of the Rocky Mountain region here as we look at a lot of American flag rotating up near the front of the group right now. Okay, well, the fireworks begin in just a few moments the first of 4 looks, and it looks like we're getting Leah Thorvaldsen and company. Leah, one of our favorite riders. She's been a friend of Zwift since the very early days. One of the Zwift, was she the first Zwift Academy winner,
First
Nathan?
Zwift Academy winner.
Right.
Yep, rode for
Yep.
the Canyon Tram team. Because of that, got a full pro contract actually. So I believe rode for them for 2 years. So good to see you now riding for
big
Team
part of the
Turbo
community.
in game now, and leading, not just riding for Team Turbo, helping to manage Team Turbo actually now at this point, which is pretty awesome of her with that giving back here. Her and Charlotte Backus out there for the Team Turbo team today. So they're just getting out on course here. We'll jump in with the ladies as they head on over toward their false flat in just a moment. But the men are about to hit the leg snapper. So we're going to jump in with them and see how things play out as they hit it for the first time here. Positioning is going to be really important. We do see Jaden Yager there make his way to the front there as well. Watch out for him. Very strong rider here. He's taken some solid results in the Tour of America's Dairyland actually.
Yeah, that's one of America's great races. But if you love criteriums, you're not going to find, without any doubt, it's been many years of that, even going back into the 70s with the Wisconsin Milk Race. Nathan, there in Wisconsin, you guys have loved your bike racing for a long time. I remember with our USA Cycling family, they've done a lot of national championships there. I got to call a criterium at the state capitol. The collegiate nationals. Collegiate racing is the best, no doubt. Look at this: Scotty Weiss, James Hodges. James Hodges, another big part of the Zwift community here, racer and active part of just the good guy in the community. They're stretching some legs out right now, Nathan. Or actually, they're stretching their legs out, and it looks like a small group possibly going to come together. Spencer Downing is going to catch that train as we roll through Innsbruck here. All right, these guys trying to get out in front of it, Nathan. What about that tactic? Doing a little sag climbing, if you will. If you start 5 seconds ahead of the field, even if they catch you, you're still going to be in them when you go up and over.
Yeah, this is an interesting split here, actually, very early on, 4 seconds, actually. And, with this field, they may chase this down a little bit, but it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of impetus there. Like, Scotty Weiss here to the front, Bowen's there as well. We've seen Downey is in there, Yager. This is a serious group that could make this stick a little bit. Yeah. We'll have to wait and see, though, if it happens now. It looks like Hodden now closing that down, though, so it does look like the group is going to come back together, but a couple of suffering off the back here. See who has been able to make it. Does look like we do have Legion team in here. Again, Eddie Ferrer loving the broadcast, it seems like, as he's jumped in here. Again, the Mexican rider looks like from Team Legion out of LA. Power is on board, it looks like, from the Belgian Zwift racing team. Project Echelon, though, with Heinlein off the back, it looks like, with Team Mitchell just hanging on here at 181. This is going to be the split here, and definitely have dropped a few off because of those attacks over the top of the leg snapper. Very select group here at this point.
Mexican cycling has a lot of quality young people. Ulysses Castillo is another that, you really wish them the best. Eder has been a class act, that's for sure, riding with that Legion of LA team. Cormac McGeough is back. Cormac's going to be racing in the Tour of the Gila coming up. Tour of the Gila has been one of the mainstays on the USA Cycling road calendar. Without any doubt, Redlands and Gila, Cascade, these have been the events that started long before the Amgen Tour of California, and hopefully will be running long after here. And we're going to be doing a Tour of the Gila with the team time trial, thanks to our friends at WTRL, the World Tactical Racing League. They give us a lot of horsepower to be able to put on that stage one. I saw USA Cycling, Mari Holden is going to be bringing the national team out to race. Tibco's going to be there. They're the number 1 team in the world right now, I would say, when you talk about racing on Zwift. They absolutely crushed the Tour for All. But Nathan, let's take a look at the men right now. It looks like we've got some action hotting up here. These guys are having at it right now. Body blow after body blow being thrown where I didn't expect to see it. I thought we'd just be kind of shadow boxing here, Nathan, but these guys are having at it. This is going to be McLean that we're looking at right now, the Cannondale rider. Somebody, Power joining here. So McLean and Power working together. Just a small gap, but it just shows you how active they are, Nathan.
Yeah, it does look like some attacks here coming from the Cannondale riders now. It is going to be K-Power coming across here. Not always the best spot to give a go, but it could work if people are a little bit tired. It's the first lap, though, and so there's going to be a lot of energy in the legs still. So bringing that back together here. Let's go ahead and jump in with the women now, though, as they are heading on over toward the leg snapper. Let's take a quick look, though, at the current standings here for the women as we have updated them. And as you were saying, Team Tibco definitely at the top here. And I'll go ahead and throw it over to you here for the ladies.
Hey, thanks, Nathan. Lauren Stevens is a monster, no question. She's represented the United States at the World Championships, certainly looking to see if she can make that Tokyo Olympic team. No doubt that she's the gold standard here. So that's your leader, Caroline Murray. Then Shani Berger out of Israel. She was a winner of our first actual event. Christy Tracy, the powerhouse out of Austin. Then we take a look at the Romanian rider, Daniela Estrate, sitting in fifth. This is all points based in our USA Cycling Race League series presented by Saris in the Pros Closet. Clara James here, another American, sitting in the top six. Monique Keller, Canadian rider, in seventh. There's Charlotte Backus in eighth. Pamela Levine in ninth. And then Fiona Schroeder. Nice to see Fiona. She's 19 years old, a rider to watch out of Germany, sitting up in our top 10. So that's our A's. In the B category, we get a look at Emmett Nussbaumer. That's our leader. Christy Brinker. So you can see that they put their USA Cycling licenses in. So Christy Brinker will be at the top of our USA Cycling rankings. Thea Friestedt, Anna Schweskeville, Svenja Scheller, and Ford. Nice to see Colorado's Jessica McWirt. She's a hard-working and motivated rider. Janine Seeger, Heidi Pop, and Diz. These are the top 10 in that B category. It's been a fun race to watch out here every week as well. We move to the C's then. We see our leader, Christine Culver. She's got a nice 140 points tallied. She's been on a roll. Kirsten Katronis is in second, just a couple points behind her. It's going to be Kim Beezer. Sarah Blanton in third. Then we have Autumn Winky rounding out our top five with Katie Hare, Wendy Skeen, Jennifer Baker, Ariel Verhaeren, and Christy Arendt. So they're tied right now, you can see, in the top 10. Moving to our D's, Melissa Avery, Elizabeth DeWitt, Kim Sutafan, she's with the Palmares Racing Team, S. Patterson, Kelly Harmon. That's your top five because there's a tie in fourth right now on this points-based series. Eileen Ray, Kimber Fisher, Mary Whitehead, Ella Edinburgh, Anchor Mark, and then Carrie Wright out of the United Kingdom. There's three riders deadlocked in eighth place on 35 points. Nathan, thanks for getting all those leaderboards out there. I really appreciate it. I'll throw it back to you as you pick up the action here.
Yeah, it is going to be Kate, and that is awesome to see all the ladies involved in the, as well as everybody else participating. That's the top 10 across all the categories, but now in the A category, over the top of the leg snapper for the first time, Takeshita out of Japan now. Christy Tracy trying to follow that up. It looks like from the Saris Infinite team. Then it's going to be Lauren Stevens right on her wheel. Look at the drafting there from Lauren Stevens, just making sure not wasting anything. It looks like Caroline Murray now trying to come on through. And then James Hurd there from Team Fearless. Thorvaldson now Team Turbo working alongside a Backus on the fourth wheel on the back. Last rider maybe to make this split is going to be Charlotte Backus, as Chafin here from Velocity Vixen unable to make it at 185 beats per minute. As you can see, they're 6K in and already dropping off. Wendorf going to try and come across here. Maybe three riders that could get together, work together, and bring this back together. Actually, four riders even, as we see some speed here coming from Angela Pitts here from the Evoke team, actually. And then it's going to be F. Hall here from TBP, as well as Mats and Co. Now, this is splintered, though, that's for sure. It's going to be hard to get organized, as these riders are not going to have a whole lot in the legs once they do come together here, as Chafin here is putting in the main of the work. Looks like Schultz coming through there from South Africa. 6 seconds up. They probably going to bring this back if they work well together. A solo rider, maybe not, but looking up ahead, it's going to be a question of whether or not they're motivated to make this split, and I think they're going to calm on down as they know they've got three more over the top of the leg snapper, as it looks like to the front. Immediate, is that Pamela Levine, I want to say, from the Vision team. But this is going to come back together, I think, with the second, even the third group, as you can look behind them and see there's a definite chase happening here.
Yeah, Nathan, I always remember the old saying with some teammates kind of mumbled, if that guy had brains, he'd be dangerous. Well, Lauren Stevens does have brains. She is really good at Zwifting, and she has a huge engine. I would say if you look around and you see you're in a group with her, go ahead and play those cards, because that's usually you're going to see these are race-winning moves. Charlotte Backus is another very dangerous rider that we have here. And Nathan, I would say one of the highlight rides over the last couple of months was what we saw from Christy Tracy a couple of weeks ago with her stunning late race attack. We were in Central Park racing, and she put her heart into that one. It came up just a little short, but didn't we learn something about Christy Tracy that day? A fantastic racer who's willing to put it all out on the line. It looks like both of these races are very, very active. This is a really interesting course to race on here. For those of you joining us, we certainly love having you watching. And they call it the leg snapper. Nathan, when this Innsbruck course was introduced, this became a feature sector immediately. Talk about how hard the climb is. I mean, you pack a lot. It's like you pack 10 pounds worth of watts into a 5-pound bag on this climb because it all comes at you. I mean, all the elevation gain is about in less than a kilometer out here.
Yeah, it's full on. It's absolutely full on. Essentially, you hit in a semi sprint from bottom to top on the leg snapper, trying to hang on, and from there, if you make it over the top, and even at that point, a lot of times there are some attacks that do take place. There was an attack just now coming from Velez from the Dirt We Try team. That's going to be the Dad's Inside Riding Trailers in this A category. He went off the front with about 3 riders just a moment ago with Brian Hodges, I believe, and a few others. Unable to make something happen from it. It's going to calm on down, I think, in the men's race now, though, because knowing that next section is going to be the leg snapper again here. Jaden Yager now making his way toward the front there, and it looks like it's 183 beats per minute, though, as you can see the suffering here now, and that's going to be all about calming that heart rate down here. Very risky move through that false flat section, because of the reality of the leg snapper coming up pretty quick. If somebody were to counter here into the leg snapper, it might break a few off, but it's always about risk reward, right? In bike racing, how much can you risk at any time before, each section that comes at you on course. Left-hand turn, right-hand turn, little chicane here, and then we're right on into the climb for the second time. The other part out on course, the attack is after this through the sprint section into that flat where we did see an attack last lap. Not going to work until the later laps, I think, and then obviously the false flat over the top of the bridge that we just came on over. But it looks like right-hand turn here in just a moment. And making the way forward here, it looks like it is going to be Nair from Project Echelon. And then Eddie Freire now also making his way to the front. John Yeager, first place, well positioned here, and it is going to be about positioning as well, Dave.
Yeah, it really is, Nathan. You don't want to be entering this climb in the back half of this group because splits are going to start opening up. There'll be more splits in this field than you see in a bad afternoon in a Las Vegas divorce court, to tell you the truth. So you've got to get yourself up near the front of this group. There's no doubt about it. The pressure is on now. Watch those numbers. If you're new to us, you can see, oh, look at all the red numbers popping right now, Nathan, over here. You can see everybody's going big now. All right, gentlemen, it is on like Donkey Kong right now. Here we go. Buckle up, boys. Only the strong are going to survive. This is like if you're in Vail, Colorado, just slamming from going off of I-70 and just going straight up the mountain because it is going to be brutal. It's not a long climb. These guys are really going to get after it. They're throwing down just body blow after body blow. Nathan, this is the bike race happening right now. We still got a long way to go. Remembering there's 36 total K of racing. They're not even to the halfway point, but decisive moment here. You're not going to win the race in the next 2 minutes, but you could get caught out.
Yeah, you can see that, and the splits are starting to happen here off the back just a little bit. And there's some riders, I think, that are just trusting that this is going to come back together here. As you do see this line of ridership, but these are the risky points here. One of these riders lets something go here, and you can see this. PTZ just staying involved everywhere here, but 1 second back. If this rider here from the DTR team, if Dan J as well from the dropouts, did not close that down, these riders' race was over. But the speeds look to be high enough. But this is a rider here, Jay Nair here from Project Echelon. He was there with them going into the climb. Not enough, though. It looks like the next rider to just barely make it back on time is going to be A. Charles here, coming from the CCNS team. So do have 39 riders, I believe, here at this point. 39 riders have made the main group, starting with 85, and two laps in. We have split the pack down to in half, essentially, out here today.
Not to brag or boast, but I think that followed my formula, Nathan.
I think
pretty much.
did. I think you're pretty much right on there. It's
okay. So if the next lap, then they should be. If we continue to use the toll theory, it should be down to about 25 guys, is my guess. Maybe a little less than that the next time we see. Nathan, you know this so well. I appreciate your in-depth knowledge of all of the courses here. I mean, the odds that you attack on the flat sector here and create a race-winning scenario, pretty unlikely. And if you're trying to set up a teammate, I don't really know how much work you'd be doing for them either. There's so many strong guys left in this group. You've got to know when to keep the powder dry. But again, riders like McLean, they have at it. Why not play to your strengths? I have all due respect for riders that make the race. Always going to be rooting for the breakaway over here, Nathan. I think we all do, right? I mean, but boy, the reality of right now, we're not even halfway into this race. There's some very strong guys who are still right now playing with a full deck.
I think he senses that did you see how the pack was really spread out though during that last
So there was a lull,
the legs,
right?
There's definitely a lull here, and he's taking full advantage. That's for sure. If he's feeling good now, a friend here, DTR. Interesting to see. Is he going to be able to make some? Dan J now thinks that this is a move to go with here. The dropouts team now.
Good for him.
Up and out of the saddle here. 146 beats per minute. He's got a kick. And you just see how he kicked there. Just like in real life cycling, you don't want to just pull the group along with you if you want to get into the breakaway. You got to jump, make sure nobody's on your wheel, and make them work for it. Sean continues on at 6.8 watts per kilogram. Can Dan get across? 418 watts. It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Zoo here from the Cryogen team sits on the front and makes sure that this is not going much of anywhere. So that's the current situation. I want to just bring in a quick comment, though, from the Facebook. I do see your comments coming through. We'll try and interact as much as we possibly can. Derek Bristol, thanks a lot for the comment here. You're going to cover tonight. So for the racing, especially with leagues like this, we want to just say that there will be people streaming their live perspectives, and we definitely want to support those that are in the community streaming their live perspectives. I'll go. So make sure to go ahead and check out over at Zwift, usually over on Twitch, or some of them are on YouTube, but definitely going to be plenty of people, I think, streaming their live experiences tonight. A lot of times when it comes to the later in the day coverage, we try and push, as far as for the US of A here, try and push people on over toward those personal channels. Check them out. Support those people who are out there putting this work in the community to stream their perspectives on the race. There's definitely a whole community of streamers out there doing an amazing job showing what a racer perspective is like. Esther Hughes now going across them as we're looking at their perspective here. This is a serious move. Now, okay, we saw something like this work a few weeks back, I believe it was, where it's very difficult to make it happen on this course here. But with these counterattacks over and over again, people are going to be in the red. And Esther Hughes in here, McLean, it looks like Weiss, it comes back together again. But look at this V more into 8 watts per kilogram here. They continue to attack like this.
Doing though,
it's good.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
It's just shattering at the back here, and people are going to start losing wheels. This may be able to work going into this false flat situation in just a moment.
Yeah, I mean, as I was saying earlier, you don't expect to see attacks, but when you do, it certainly stirs the pot. So that's the men's race. It is pandemonium right now in Innsbruck. We're looking at Christy Tracy over here. I love when you do the split screen, giving us the Tête de la Corsa, the front of the bike race here for both of these races. You get the feeling, again, that every time up the climb, it is gut check time for everybody in the race, whether you're trying to hang on, going through a bad patch. That's a tough place to do it because there's going to be riders that are really looking to make their race there. You talk about it being the signature feature part of the course, and it certainly that fourth trip up, Nathan, it's going to be a barn burner. So here we go. This one is going by quickly. We're not even going to see 45 minutes of racing today. This one will be done and dusted. So all the different categories out here racing on this Innsbruck course. If you're just joining us, we're looking at 36, but an interesting 36 kilometer, almost like intervals out here. Every lap you get this one trip. Nathan, there was a course that they used to race in the old Coors Classic that was called Suicide Hill. It was if you go to Snowmass, Colorado.
That actually, yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. It's actually one of the only heated roads in the world. They actually run coils to heat the pavement so that the cars can drive up it in the wintertime. Otherwise, the cars would just literally start sliding down the mountain. This climb is similar to that. It's short. It's brutally steep. I think these are the most severe efforts. You'd probably rather be passing a kidney stone than doing this climb in the fourth lap if you're in that front group.
Yeah, and as we head into our second time over the top for the women now, Carolyn Murray making her way to the front here. Saris Infinite, she is on the aggression here. Saris Infinite, they've been quite the force in this series so far, and they've been playing their tactics really well. Christy Tracy jumping onto the wheel. Now it does look like Lauren Stevens, though, just following wheels. She's been playing it so smart. I think that Lauren Stevens has really been doing her homework here, but it looks like not so much going to be following wheels here this time around, putting her nose to the wind here at this point. 7.5 watts per kilogram. I think she wants to see a break situation, or at least try and whittle things down a little bit more. A couple too many bodies in here, so let's go ahead and bag them up. It looks like HP, Harris, as well as Ramsey off the back here, it looks like. And then it's going to be Russo here coming out of South Africa. Angel Pitzer just trying to hang on. Evoke here with two teammates here trying to come across. Will it happen? It looks like Angel's going to be able to hang on. And there's a little bit of gap ahead. I think this is going to come together with these riders, though, as Evoke does have the experience. Poland, though, off the back. Harris as well. Not going to be happening. Is that 6-7? That's completely open up. Pitzer, though, it looks like suffering, as I believe they attacked over the top. Yeah, actually, there's a split I missed there. Chafin's unable to hang on again. This is what we saw last lap, and it looks like it's going to be Tibco that made it happen along with Team Turbo. Charlotte Backus. Those are the names actually here. Charlotte Backus here from Team Turbo. Leah Thorvaldsen and Lauren Stevens. They've been making this leg snapper so incredibly difficult for the rest of the women.
Got to give Charlotte credit. I believe she's still in Park City, Utah. So if that's true, she's riding at, pretty close to 6,000 feet of elevation. That's significant. It makes it. But then again, so are the riders that are racing, like the Jaramillo sisters that are racing out of Colorado Springs. But it's a special kind of athlete that can add that factoring in, slightly less oxygen in the air as you're trying to run that engine. Nathan, what's going on over here with the men right now is Lauren Stevens made a selection out there. We're going to be checking back in with the women, but let's see who we've got on attack. It looks like, is that John Yeager that we've got?
Yeah, Yeager here,
right
Jaden Yeager. He likes this section. It seems like a little bit more of just powerhouse, put the power down, get the speed high, flatter sections. It looks like it's was trying to make something work for him, but the pack is right on his wheel, pushing 5.8, but that 4-1 here, rolling through 53 kilometers per hour. He's just going to have to keep the pace high to hang on as they come speeding right on by here. Now a counterattack, though, it does look like, is that Santa Lanes? But he's not actually counterattacking. The Italian rider, I think, just taking some speed on through as the pack slingshots him forward a little bit here, as you can see. Moving backwards, though, Cormac McGill looking for some positioning. Anybody falling off the pack, though, through that section? I'd be surprised if they did that. Anybody who's made this group at this point, most likely not going to put too much pressure on them through those sections of the course here. Off the front, though, a little bit here, I am seeing, is that going to be a rider in green? I want to see, is that going to be Cormac McGill here? It looks like.
Oh, boy.
And that's an early attack, actually. 7 watts per kilogram going into the leg snapper. Interesting to see.
He's another guy that, he's got a massive capacity, this Irish rider who's been in Washington State, which is the home of Gerard Cycles. It's a new team in esports. Cormac McGill races for Wildlife Generation on the road. If we can ever, as I know USA Cycling is working so hard to try to figure out how to get us back on a start line in real life and racing, and Cormac will be the first guy there, no doubt about it. But he's been up in Seattle, Washington over the last couple of months during this COVID-19 lockdown. He's been just getting fitter, stronger, and savvy racer, no doubt. He's learned the game. And Nathan, you have done a really good job of illustrating that, you need the big engine, but you have to learn. It looks like this. Laverick is going. So the
Laverick is going. Anderson's here. There's 3 out the front. They got 5 seconds. They're not even hitting the leg snapper yet. This is an interesting move. You barely ever see this. Now, the question is, can they hit 10 watts per kilogram is going to be the question, because that's what they're going to be hitting behind, knowing that they have to chase this down. But 5 seconds, that is a very solid attack. And Laverick can climb like no other.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say, Nathan, talk about the quality of rider that Laverick is. He is one of the big animators in the world of esports, and he is going big right now. Look at these numbers, 9 watts per kilo. That rarefied air, oh boy. We made up that the verb getting lavericked a couple of weeks ago. Well, he's doing it again, but look at this. Scotty Weiss is going to respond. So you can see the American Weiss is going to come up and over the top, and this is going to bring it on now. It is pandemonium in Innsbruck here. This is going to be an interesting trip up the climb, Nathan. I'll throw it back to you because we've got ourselves a Donnybrook happening.
F. Diavola here now coming out of Belgium, trying to come over the top. 184 beats per minute. Now Weiss goes ahead on the attack. Boniface is going as well. It looks like it's going to be Stocks here now. Go U23. Hodden. When I'm seeing a shout out actually to this rider, 4th place currently here. And actually I am seeing over in social medias, go on Andy Hodden coming in from Cademu here. So good to see that he's got some people cheering him on. It's obviously giving him some extra motivation and speed here because he is right in this top 3. Look at this situation.
Boniface
it is
too,
really,
Nathan.
Ed Laverick is here. There's a split behind here. The group is starting to split. They're going to have to really push on to get back on terms. A few of the riders here, 3rd time over the top. You're going to have one more in a second here. Zwart, Landis Trek, unable to make it. It looks like, oh my gosh, Wouter, can he get back on? It looks like just barely Dan J. Is he playing it smart? That might be what's going on here. Maybe there's a lot left here at 7
He'll
watts
get back
per kilogram.
on. Yeah. Yep, Nathan, good call. I think that was some smart gaming right there. He's going to get back on. He realizes that you can't play around with this one as they're going to be right now. You can't afford to miss a step out here. They're more than 24K into this 36-kilometer slugfest out here. Little splits opening up, though, all over the place. It shows you that, when you see Boniface and Laverick up there near the front, is that going to be Dan Fleeman as well? Sometimes
no Fleeman
it's
today.
a little tricky.
I do not believe we have
Okay,
Fleeman on
all
here.
right. I was wondering who. Okay, so there we go, though. Look at this. We're very close to seeing the elastic snapping here. What a course. This one brings out the best in our racers, and these guys are having at it right now. Zwart getting
Ned
back
Bowen
on.
Here. It does look like Wouter's going to be able to make it happen, but was that a match burnt? Extra. There.
Absolutely,
like
Nathan.
on the downhill there.
No question.
Because the reality is you kick on the front, and if you get over the top in first place, you can essentially not rest, but, I mean, you can really allow the legs to sit a little bit. Now look at McLean. He loves this section of the course here. Not going to be able to go over the top as it looks like it's going to be Weiss, Boniface, Swart here all working together to make something happen now, and they want to keep the pace as high as possible, it looks like, as they continue on at almost 50 kilometers per hour. So this is where all the action's been going on here on lap number 3. Now, I think Laverick, what was going on in Ed Laverick's head there? Just so everybody knows, he is the UK hill climb champion. He definitely is going to be looking to try and make something happen each time on that climb, most likely. But he's got to play it tactically because it's not quite long enough for a rider like that to really get enough separation. So I think that's why you're seeing him try and create these gaps before they actually hit the hill climb, make the pack work to chase something down, put them in the red a little bit, and then climb it and then go full on over the top. He's really trying to set something up here to get a split to happen because he does not have the sprint that's needed, especially for this. This is a drag race. Looking at this right here, you're looking right now at the last 1K that we'll have on the next lap, right? So in the next lap, we got about 10K to go right now. This is the final K. We'll look at the next lap. And look at this. This is a drag race right here. That's what it is. It's a straightaway right on into the finish line. And we actually already seeing some splits going on here. Weiss, Anderson, McLean still pushing on here. Moore's having to close things down. They're letting it go here. 164 beats per minute here. 8 watts per kilogram. It looks like Hanny can say that this is a situation where you got to get across now because Jay Diaga here,
right there,
off the back. Yep, it's over here for these riders unless they really work together right now.
Yeah, like the last helicopter leaving Hanoi. You better get on this one because it's leaving. And it looks like these guys are right on the edge. Look at the numbers that they're having to create here, Nathan. I saw Collins there up in the red. So that's what it's going to take if you're going to rejoin. Positioning is so important. We've got one more leg snapper left. Boy, they used that one to their advantage, no doubt. Great comment, Patrick. Laverick, I've never seen him anything but hot, white hot, Ed Laverick out here. But look at that, the Canadian and our series leader on points, Brett Boniface. That Canadian is always in the mix, Nathan. Boniface is doing an exceptional job riding. His TSS is going to be relatively low, I would say. Hasn't had a lot. He hasn't got caught on the wrong side of any of these splits that I've seen now. He's taken them to task here.
Barely ever see this actually here on this course here. So very cool to see.
Really different.
How incredibly active things have been. And I think a lot of the esports team have gotten very smart recently about how to break a group apart. There's been a lot of situations. And in Zwift racing, it really is like crit racing when it comes to making the splits happen. You have to have very, very high intensity attacks over and over and over again. Then next thing you know, a break forms eventually. And, that's what we're seeing happen here. And cool to see that there's some motivation putting on a show. That's for sure. Spencer Downey just barely getting back marathon terms, it looks like here at 179 beats per minute. Currently in the women's race here right now as we're heading on over toward their third time over the top. They're 20.9 kilometers in, 29 minutes of racing down. They've climbed 174 meters so far. A Wendorf is in there. Keller's in there as well. We're seeing Mats and Co. F. Hall there from TBP. The Carolyn Murray as well. It looks like HP and Ramsey in a small group, as well as A. Harris, Poland, and Angela Pitts are trying to chase things down. 5 riders, it looks like, in amongst this group. And that's going to be going out to, believe, 20th
Wait a second,
place.
though. So, Nathan, are we looking? Okay, we're looking at a chase group.
This is a chase group.
I realize.
Chase
there you
group.
go. Yep. Obviously looking for Stevens. There she is. The rider out of Dallas, Texas. Big star, no question. Winner of the Winston-Salem UCI one-day race. Arguably the hardest one-day race to win in North America, or certainly the United States. They do a great job there in North Carolina. So, Nathan, this group now, when you look at it, 17 riders here. They started 5 minutes after the men. We'll get a really good look at the finale of this race. We'll bring the whole thing home for you here. We'll probably have cover the last 6-7 minutes in its entirety for the women here. One rider, though, that I obviously we're big fans of, Charlotte Backus. She punches above her weight week in, week out. This little climb suits her well. Small group, Backus, Stevens together, Nathan. Be interesting to watch. You never really know, do you? Always got to remember the heart that Christy Tracy has, the rider. Another Texas-based rider, in this case, Christy Tracy out of Austin. But I don't know that there's a racer with more razzmatazz than Christy Tracy.
Yeah, actually, speaking of Christy Tracy, over on Twitter, they're bringing in more. I love it how Jamie brings in these live shots, actually. So
he's a good dude.
Really, very good dude. And real quickly, here's a live shot here. That's her. She's got quite the pain cave, that's for sure. And hammering away. I guess she's on a new H3 as well. So good to see the support here coming in from Saris for the team for Saris Infinite. But to the front here, Backus. I'll be watching out for Backus in the sprint. The lead out from Leah Thorvaldsen. They're going to try and I think take down Lauren Stevens out here today. I think that's going to be the goal, is to watch Lauren Stevens. Over the top of the climb, though, can't be watching too much, as I believe Saris is going to go on the attack often to try and disrupt that 1-2 situation that I believe we're going to be watching out for between Leah Thorvaldsen and Charlotte Backus.
Yeah, Charlotte has done such a great job helping organize that Socks for Watts team. It's an international squad that does our team time trials on Thursdays that have been an absolute blast at WTRL. But she has come a long way in real life and using this Zwift platform. When we went into COVID-19, Nathan, a lot of people said, everyone's going to put on 10 pounds and lose fitness. Some riders said, not me. Charlotte was one of them that really embraced this, and good on her. I have loved watching this transformation from a good racer into a next level racer that's happening right in front of her eyes. Is going to be Murray here, one of the top riders in this race. No doubt about it. She's going to have the alarm bells ringing. Oh, Nathan, this is going to be fun to watch here as we take a look at the women. But Lauren Stevens is on the go. Lauren Stevens has hit out. Is this the move? Nathan, let's keep our attention here. The Vanguard, Stevens, always a rider to watch. She's in the limelight every race she does. Every time Lauren Stevens shifts, you hear 20 other riders shifting back in the peloton. Everyone wants to do what Lauren's doing. Well, right now, the front of the bike race, the Japanese rider, Takashita, looking very strong here. Stevens, Takashita, who else wants to go? I think this is the move, Nathan. Thorvaldsen, Murray is there. James here. Looks like she's going to make it. Schultz maybe going to get on. Come on, ladies. Here we go. Throttle all the way open now. Thorvaldsen able to hang on. Great job, Leah.
Yeah, Thorvaldsen is here, able to make it. I don't think Backus is going to make a chase here. Backus is just going to sit in here. Team Turbo allowing her rider to go away. Leah Thorvaldsen get involved in this break here. And maybe Backus will come across here with, this is a serious tactic here. Letting Schultz carry her along. I don't know if she's got anything left in the tank here. We might see a jump across over this little gradient, but it looks like she's going to allow this to go. Murray ahead here now, currently just hanging on in the back of this pack. I think this is going to come back together between these riders at least. These 4 and 4. Pamela Devine now trying to make a chase, it looks like, as well as Keller behind, as you can see. So perhaps back together again. It's interesting to see. I wonder if Backus is sitting in and allowing Leah to go, if there's just not enough energy in the tank. She does make her way through the front.
Yeah.
8 seconds. Murray now. This is going away, actually.
Yeah, this is the move. This is the selection. Here you go. This is your bike race, ladies and gentlemen. These four are going to be competing for the win. I have no doubt about that now. So, Nathan, I think probably a Charlotte could, she would, and you never know. She's been racing a lot out here. Now, this men's race is coming down to the final 5K as well. So, we're going to be jumping back and forth between these. We've got 2 main events going. Actually, we've got 8 main events going on. Thank you, everybody who's racing here with our USA Cycling Race League. It means so much that we can keep our USA cycling community together and racing. And man, it looks like in the men's race, Nathan, we've got another attack. I think we're going to settle in these 4 riders here. Well, it's going to be interesting here, but in the men's race, it is absolute pandemonium right now. Look at
Yeah,
the
we're going to jump into the men's race here real quickly here, actually, just to make sure that we catch the finish of their race. We'll jump back in with the women for their final lap here in just a moment. There's a break in the women's race here. Lauren Stevens, 6 watts per kilogram, currently off the front, but here Andy Hodden now giving a go, and it looks like I'm getting a little information about this rider actually coming in from David Lyons, letting us know that Andy Hodden, ex-Raleigh UK Continental rider, actually, great sprinter, crit rider, trying to get involved, and it looks like he's coming off the front here at 9-10 watts per kilogram. So good to see Andy jumping in to our USA Cycling. Ed Laverick right onto his wheel. And this is a new force, dark horse in the day, a wild card thrown into the mix amongst esports riders.
You know, and Nathan, I would say that this little stunner of a climb that we have, this is something that sprinters can get over. You only have to make the watts for, 90 seconds, 2 minutes to get over that climb. So it's certainly interesting. This is not a climber's course per se in any way, shape, or form, is it?
Yeah, Boniface did get off the front here a little while earlier. It was on the attack, but it looks like he's going to be brought back in. Scotty Weiss is off the front at 11. It looks like steady watts per kilogram. He'll be, they may be...
It's just 60 seconds? What are we looking at here?
Yeah, I think now Boniface is going to get brought. No, you're fine. You're fine. And Boniface is going to get brought back in here. Hodden tries to jump on the wheel. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to make the. There's going to be a large enough group here, though. Yeah. So they are going to be able to make the juncture, I believe, here, but Hodden here looks to be trying to go across, and he's raced against Weiss, I believe, in real life here. So he's believing, I think, that he's going to chase down Weiss here, but is that going to be able to happen? It depends on whether or not there's impetus here in the, if these riders have the motivation. I think they do. I think they got the power. I think they have the speed, and I believe Hodden, I think that this is just going to be a little bit too much of an ask for the kind of speeds that they're going to ramp up here into this final couple kilometers.
Nathan, where is Cormac McGeough right now?
McGeough got dropped on the last lap. Maybe
That's what's going on.
McGeough either got dropped on the last lap or he had a dropout. I think he may have had a dropout, 1.8 watts per kilogram. He's 1 lap down, actually, off the front.
Okay,
there.
Good. That clarifies it. I had some people asking it. So the front of the bike race right now is what we're looking at here. Is
Laverick.
So something happening with Weiss too. So again, this is Ed Laverick out of Wales in the black with the Tron green wheels here. So Laverick is a huge danger man. Without any doubt, every alarm bell available is ringing as loud as it can right now. So Ed Laverick is going to be your worst nightmare here for this finale. They are down to it, Nathan. We're going to be coming in. I mean, Laverick, as someone said, coming in hot. This man is scorching it right now. This human wattage cottage. Nathan, can he bring this home?
The pack here, who has been sitting in, is going to be the question. They're at 3.7 watts per kilogram, and nobody's wanting to do the work here. If they do not do the work, they're not even going to bring back Weiss. I thought Weiss would be caught. He's got a solid 16, 18 seconds here. They've got about a K to go here at this point. Laverick now at 7 watts per kilogram. Hodden here now, 5 watts per kilogram now. Reynards is there as well. Reynards as well as Gleason. They're starting to make it over their front, but they're just, the pack is being too lazy here at this point. They got to start either attacking each other. They've got to start pushing on here, but they're looking at each other. Nobody wants to waste the effort. Laverick's off the front. He's going to get caught, I believe, by the main pack, but Weiss, I think, is going to walk away here. Well, 10 seconds can still be brought back in, but it's got to go now. Anderson, though, not working with the pack here. Everybody's just fighting for themselves. I think that this has been such a difficult race that it has completely wiped out the energy in the legs. Nobody's got anything left here. Anderson continues on now. Schwartz here, we're into the last 500 meters, and I think that Weiss has got this
even Laverick can't hold these boys off, though, Nathan. It shows you the power of the peloton as they can sniff the finish line now. It looks like we're about to go into full sprint mode, I would think. There's going to be a couple runners that want to challenge that. The finish line comes up very, very quickly. Keep me on my toes here, Nathan, as, again, these finishes are really challenging. These guys have had a chance to reconnoiter this a few times, but obviously when you start seeing the fencing, you know that you're very, very close to being done and dusted out here.
Here we go.
And
now,
it looks
Moore,
like
V.
here
Moore.
we are.
Moore
Yep.
is opening it up here. He's into the last 200 meters here. Boniface is trying to get across, but it looks like Moore has gotten the jump on him. Boniface is not going to be able to come across here. This is a sprint to the line. It's Boniface followed up, Moore followed up by Boniface, and then Gleason. We'll take a look at the replay of who came through next on through, but Vigo Moore, what a kick coming from him in this men's race. Back into the ladies' race here. We'll take a look at the replay and the results in just a little bit here. In the women's race, though, they're about to head into their third time over the top of the, I believe they're heading into their last lap here, actually, they are actually into their last lap as we're looking at Carolyn Murray. Actually, we're going to see if I move our way backwards actually a little bit. As they're in the men's race, we do have the second group coming in to their sprint here in just a moment as well. So we'll be able to watch the second group come across the line in just a few minutes here. Lots of riders fell off pretty early actually, so there's a lot of stragglers coming in as well.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have the women. If you enjoyed that finale, you've got another one coming your way. They never disappoint out of this group. So let's see what the scenario is here, Nathan. They did reset, didn't they? So that's going to be a nice kick save there for riders that didn't make that four-rider split with Stevens. They obviously did a lot of work there to bring that back. So, all right, a little bit of a reset. These are the women that remain right now in our front group. We're looking at the Vanguard. Again, Christy Tracy, always a rider, easy to support, isn't she? When they race with panache, it makes it she's very identifiable out here and does a good job of just being organized and promoting herself and this platform of esports racing out here on Zwift. Small group, hard to sprint out of group like this, and you know that there's an attack coming, Nathan. We've got one more trip up the leg snapper for the ladies here.
With a little less bodies in here, too, the reality of the drafting and the working together, a little bit less. There's a lot more opportunity here to maybe try and get away on this little uphill grind right now on the leg snapper. You know, you're not quite as worried about being chased down. It'll happen most likely with some of the teams in here with some efforts, but it's a little bit easier to break things if you got some energy in the legs here. So I'm feeling that we're going to see Stevens really give a go, try and break things apart. Obviously, we did see Leah Thorvaldsen is going really well. She came across to Stevens as well as Takashita. So those three riders, as well as Carolyn Murray, were all able to make that group last lap. So we'll have to see how that ends up playing out here. I think Stevens going to give another go. Backus, I wonder if she's been holding back. I'm not sure. It's interesting to see.
Yeah, the Japanese rider, Takashita, has been certainly, I would think, Nathan, the most dangerous. She's been able to go and respond to these moves that Lauren Stevens has been throwing down. So certainly she's a rider to watch. We don't have the Israeli rider, Shani Berger. I haven't seen her. I don't believe, I hate to make definitive statements, but I don't believe that she's in this group. I'm 99%
I'm not sure she showed on the race today.
Yeah. I don't believe she did.
Yeah, so it's
did
your best
DNS,
of 7,
as they say.
I believe it is. It's your best of 7, so she'll still be able to be involved in the series. It's just your 10 races total, so you can take a week off here or there and not race every single week.
So exactly. In almost any series that you do in the sport of cycling, they allow you to toss an event or two, and especially a long series like we have with the USA Cycling Race League. It only makes sense. It's the right way to do it. So those formulas have been established a long time ago. And as we take a look here, this group really just kind of biding our time. It's like a ticking time bomb, isn't it? You know there's going to be an explosion here. There's a couple of riders that are looking to make the race. There's a few riders in this group that are hoping to be able to hang on to be there for what may be a reduced group sprint here. This is some great racing, Nathan. I think I got to be honest, Innsbruck is the kind of course that unless you're fit, you really don't want to ride on. It's very, very challenging. I mean, this was the Worlds that Peter Sagan was unable to make the final group, right? One of the most challenging, as I said at the opening of the show, a proper Worlds course to say the least, as this is the calm before the storm. As you can see, you don't really see numbers as low as 2.4 watts. Is that Emily Newsom? It is, Nathan. I need to highlight this rider, another one of the top Americans in the sport today, Emily Newsom. That is a huge talent, but she's not in the group, is she?
No,
I know she's been doing some huge miles lately.
One lap ago.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
Yeah, but
yeah,
good
big
to see her out on
though.
course. Good to see her out on course. She was with
absolutely.
them the first one around, but definitely looks like she's going to finish up her race out there today.
Yeah, Lauren Stevens, the last thing you want to do is give Stevens even more help out here, right? If you're the other ladies, you're saying, look, she's good enough. She doesn't need a rock star teammate to help bring her into the bottom of the climb here, because Emily Newsom would be able to make a difference if she was in this group. But right now, we're taking a look at the Vanguard here. Well, I got to say, if you've made it to this point, you got to be feeling pretty good about yourself. You would know this climb, no doubt. Nice to see Takashita, the Japanese rider that we've been talking about. Well, that's some good intel, isn't it? She's clearly got both the long game and the punch. I think she's proved that to us already. Keep an eye on her out here. I'm sure Lauren Stevens appreciates the heads up.
Speaking of Lauren here, Jamie Trace is letting us know that she raced yesterday. Lauren's a beast, is what she's saying here. So cool to see all the comments coming on in as we head into the final time, open over the top of the leg snapper. We'll see if Takashita and Lauren Stevens are able to make this break happen again as they went over the top last time. Lauren now kicking up to 8 watts per kilogram, as you can see on the right-hand side of your screen. Stevens, 10 watts per kilogram. This is full on. Avatar up and out of the saddle. That's most likely what's looking like at home here as well. 9.3, 169 beats per minute. Keller's now trying to come across. Can she hold this 9 or so all the way over the top? 95, 92 RPMs here. Carolyn Murray now knowing that this is the move to follow. Now, there is some trusting of the pack. So there's a reality of that you have to trust that this pack is going to bring things back together on the downhill, staying together a little more. But look, they can say, no, this is going to open up too much at this point. How many can come with over the top? Murray now 8 watts per kilogram. Thorvaldsen, these are the riders that made it last time. And it looks like Backus just doesn't have the watts out there today. I thought she was going to be there for the sprint, but it looks like Stevens breaking away. She's got 3 seconds. If she continues on, this is over.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't bet against her, that's for sure. Ladies, welcome to downtown Pain City, because that's what it's going to be as you try to chase back world-class Lauren Stevens. So let's see. Now, we're going to have riders, traffic, lapped riders out there on the course. That was not a chase. Lauren Stevens is your leader. This is the queen of the course right now, without any doubt. But look at this. It looks like Murray's going to get up and join her. So Murray showing pure grit. Okay, not many are going to be able to go with Stevens here, but Murray fighting to get onto that wheel. Nathan, this is life or death. All hands on deck right now. If you want to be winning this bike race, Lauren Stevens has thrown down the ultimate challenge. You are looking at a wattage goddess, no doubt about it. Lauren Stevens is a huge talent. She slams a super tuck now. She knows the game, Nathan. She is the true triple threat. She's got heart, she knows the game, and she's got a massive, massive engine.
Yeah, look at this now. We can see it's going to be Stevens now 6.6 watts per kilogram. Murray now 5.0. Keller now from Revo. Now it's going to be James Hurd there from Fearless. Look, now James Hurd though from Fearless now getting to the front, and this group is working very well together now, as you can see here. It looks like Murray now going across. Will Thorvaldsen be able to pull this all back together and keep Team Turbo involved? Backus is off the back, so it's not going. Charlotte Backus and Pamela Vine. They're 8 seconds off. I don't think they've got the speed here to bring this back together here, but this group can make this happen. This may be the main, the group that can come back together for an actual group sprint to make this happen, because Stevens is committed at this point, and this is matches burnt. If they come back together, I'm not sure she's going to have the sprint over the top, and somebody may benefit from that group behind. And I'm looking right at Leo Thorvaldsen.
Yeah, well, this is what's beautiful about this sport. Lauren Stevens knows that in order to win, you've got to risk losing, even if you're as talented as Lauren Stevens. She's not afraid. This is what racing really is all about. Rather than sitting back and attacking with 500 meters to go, she's going to play her cards. Remembering, as Jamie Tracy was telling us, she raced hard yesterday. She is back at it. This is a true journey woman. American cycling can be very proud of Lauren Stevens. Nathan, I obviously am a believer. She's got about 1.5 K to go. I think she's going to do it. But then again, I always do. When you believe, right? And Nathan, right now, Lauren Stevens is showing you what the gold, actually make it the platinum standard. Thanks to my friend Kathleen for that. The platinum standard, no doubt, win, lose, or draw today. But it's going to be Murray coming, the relentless Murray here. I love the fact that these ladies will not roll over. They will not die out here. Even against a huge challenge like this, they're up for the battle. This is the clash of the ash, the big battle happening here in the final kilometer. Lauren Stevens is relentless now, just burying it here into the final K of racing. Nathan, she's not coming back.
No, it's not happening here. It does not look like they've got enough power in that chase group at this point to make it happen. So Lauren Stevens now 5.7 watts per kilogram. Timko SPB looks like she's going to walk away with this one. Perhaps Carolyn Murray is not giving up the ghost, though, just as of yet. 5.2 watts per kilogram. She's still got a chase group to hold off as well. 176 beats per minute. The suffering is so real at this point here. Stevens now just holding on at 180 beats per minute right now. Murray trying to come across. She's got another kick perhaps now. 6.6 watts per kilogram, as you can see here, almost into 7. 4 seconds, though. I think it's just a little bit too much. It's about 100 meters up, I believe, at this point that she's trying to close down.
Nathan, let's talk about this, how hard it is to solo over the top of that climb to bring this to the line. You rarely see a rider pull off what you're doing, right? What Lauren Stevens is doing right now. This is an exceptional performance. I mean, she's winning out of small groups. She's winning out of big groups. She's winning in solo breakaways. She's going to be leading her team into the Tour de Gila for that time trial squad. They could put an exclamation point on that stage one. Lauren Stevens, you are an American champion. Nathan, I finally got a finish call right.
Yeah, now we do have third place. The third place battle here. Keller now trying to close it down. Looks like James Herr from Team Fearless going to make it happen, but is Keller going to come across from Revo? Revo with a little kick there, trying to hold on. Takashita now it looks like as well, trying to come across. Not going to happen. It's going to be her, followed up by, there was a close one there right behind. We'll have to wait and see how that ended up playing out there. But that was for the battle for the top 3 in the women's race. So that was the situation there.
To all our Japanese friends watching, I can only imagine how impacted you've been by having the Tokyo Games changed. I mean, here we are, USA Cycling. We have so many riders we're excited about sending to Tokyo. We're going to do it in 2021. But to our friends from Japan watching today, certainly, we really recognize how hard you've worked for those games, and we can't wait for 2021. So thank you.
Yeah, big shout out there. That's a great point actually.
Takashita gets it done today, Nathan. She gets on the podium.
Yeah, that was a really solid result. Actually.
Solid.
Let's go ahead. Take a quick look though here at the replay from the men's, and then we'll take a look at the replay from the women's race here. As we did as Scotty Weiss, it looks like coming on through for first place. This is him off the front there. He had a solid 12 seconds over the pack, actually. So solid result there coming in from Scotty Weiss. But the sprint from the pack for second place was Vigo Moore. Big jump. Boniface did not respond early enough, it looks like. They're 200 meters out. And he just held on, though. Look at Boniface coming across. Not going to be happening, though, as looks like Vigo Moore holds on for right to the line Nathan, here, though.
Yeah, well, if that was another 20 meters, it would have been possibly different. But Vigo got that one right. Talk about nailing it out there. That's the first time that I've had the honor of watching Vigo Moore take a win, honoring the USA Cycling. I always like seeing the Americans win our home series out here, Nathan. Well, what a worlds it was today. Another great race. And our series. Now, are we looking at the updated series? I believe...
This is today's results. So Scotty Weiss here up at the top there. Looks like by Boniface and Vigo. Interesting to see. So this is the back-end API. Yeah. So we're being told. So I've been told that on the Innsbruck course for the finish line, there's something interesting going on here. So Boniface and Vigo. I saw Vigo ahead there. So we'll have to wait and see what we'll let the race organizers. I'm going to let the race organizers figure that one out. Is what I'm going to say on that one with that sprint to line. But Scotty obviously coming across a few seconds ahead of that situation there. But and then as we did see, this one's an easy one. Lauren Stevens across the line there, obviously way ahead. Carolyn Murray, what a result there from her as well, trying to chase her down. Clara James Herr, followed up by Monali Keller. Then it's going to be Takashita, Krista Tracy, Leah Thorvaldsen, Pamela Levine, Charlotte Backus, and then Lisa Schultz out of South Africa. Solid results all around from the riders. So, all right, so that's it for us today here with the USA Cycling League. Dave, lots of fun. Loving these races. We did have some questions about whether or not we'd be streaming the later race. I encourage everybody to stream their point of view because that's what I'm going to do. So if you're jumping in for your evening race, go ahead and jump into somebody's live stream, hang out, give them a follow. Specifically, one focus that we're really trying to make here on Zwift Community Live is to grow the Zwift game on Twitch. When it comes to discoverability, Twitch pretty much does the best job when it comes to a single game. And so streaming your Zwift experience on Twitch raises the game up, which also raises the whole community of streamers up. So go ahead and check out somebody's live stream out there tonight of the USA Cycling League. I'll be out there hammering away, getting my workout in as well. But we got tomorrow, we've got the Tour for All, which I'm going to be on over on Zwift Live, not on Zwift Community Live. And then this weekend, we've got a lot of awesome racing. Tour Vila, obviously, you got a ton of experience with that and super exciting there, Dave.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. We're going to start with the team time trial for the men and the women. I'm really happy we're adding the women into the mix as well. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's going to be massive. So look forward to seeing you all out there. Thanks for the support, everybody. Really appreciate you. And you, Nathan, thank you.
Yeah, I do see all the support, the comments. I see everybody cheering and things. I appreciate everybody out there for sure. And we'll see you for Tour for All tomorrow, and then Tour Vila, as well as the Koa boys. They take over on Thursdays for Australia as well as the Americans.
They're awesome.
So they are awesome.
They do a
doing
great
an
job.
job.
Yep.
So the Koa boys, they'll be live 4 a.m. here, our time here in the USA, but they're doing a great job of serving those other time zones on Thursdays. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow on the Tour for All over on Zwift Live, and then Tour Vila all weekend. As always, everybody, ride on.